All right, grade one. So this is our first story for the week in the reading workshop. Okay, and our central question is, how do we get our food? Okay, if you look here on page 94 and 95, you see that the title says, A Look at Breakfast. And you'll see that a boy is having his breakfast. The breakfast is a meal that we eat early in the morning. If you look at what he's eating, you'll see that he's drinking orange juice. He has a bowl of cereal, and he's making he's eating jam on bread, on a French toast. Okay, so have you ever thought how the food that we eat is made? Well, today we will learn how bread is made, how the jam is made, and how orange juice is made from the farmers or from the producers. Okay, let's start reading A Look at Breakfast. Page 96. Bread is good for breakfast, but this isn't bread yet. It is wheat. Flour is made from the wheat. Okay, so it says that bread is good to have or to eat for breakfast. But as you see here, that this isn't a picture of bread. What is it? This is a plant called wheat. Okay, so what is wheat? A wheat is a plant that farmers grow, and they use it to make a white powder called flour. And we use wheat to make the flour, and we use the flour to make bread. As you see here, this is a big machine collecting or cutting all the wheat that the farmers planted. Okay, so because it's a lot, the farmers use a machine to cut it all in the same time and collect them. This is called a photo. A photo is a real picture of something, and the sentence beside the photo is called a caption. The wheat is crushed to make flour. Okay, the wheat, this plant, is crushed or broken into small pieces to make a white powder called flour. And as we said, we use flour to make bread. Let's learn the steps or the sequence of making bread. First, dough is made. What is dough? You know, when you put all the ingredients or all the things that you use to make bread, it becomes something called dough. Like to make bread, you add eggs, you add flour, you add water, and some people add milk, and then you mix them together. When you mix all the ingredients together, it becomes something soft, like slimy, and you shape it the way you want. So when you mix all the ingredients together, it becomes something soft called dough. What do we do with the dough when it's soft? We shape the bread into the shape we like. It can be long, it can be round like a circle, it can be flat. We cut it, or we can put it in a loaf, right? So what happens first? First, dough is made. Next, the dough is shaped and baked. So after we mix all the ingredients, it becomes dough. First, the dough is made. Next, we shape the dough, the bread, in the way we like it. But is it bread yet? No, we call it dough because it's not cooked. First, so we make the shape of the dough, and then we cook it or bake it in the oven. When you put something in the oven, you say you bake it. Then it's done. Then it's finished. The word done means it's finished. It is bread. Last, the bread is put in bags and sold in the supermarket. Okay, so this is the sequence. And as how you know this is the sequence, there are words, transition words, to tell you the steps. What is the first thing that happened? First. And then what happens next? What's the next step? Next. Then. Last. These tell you the order or the steps of how bread is made. All right? So again, wheat is used to make bread. How? The wheat is collected and crushed into flour, and the flour is used to make bread. All right? When the dough is made, next is shaped and baked, then it's when it's cooked or baked, it's done, and then it becomes bread. What's the last step? All the bread is collected and put into bags to be sold in the supermarket. Okay, now we will learn how grape jam is made. On page 98, grape jam is good on bread. But this isn't jam yet. It is a grapevine full of grapes. Okay, so it also says that grape jam it's good to eat it with bread. But of course, as you see here, this is not jam yet. Okay, what happens? The farmers must grow the grapes in a farm called the grapevine. The grapevine is a farm where they grow grapes, and when it's ready or ripe, the farmers collect them. Okay, again, what is this? This is a photo. A photo is a real picture. And this is called a caption. Grapes grow on vines, then are picked when they are ripe. So, grapes grow on something called vines in a grapeyard or a vineyard, and they are picked when they are ready. The word ripe means they are ready to be eaten. Okay, on page 99, trucks take the grapes to a plant. Every grape is crushed to make mush. After that, the mush is cooked. Now it is grape jam. Yum! So what happens after the farmers collect the grapes from the vine? They are collected in big trucks and they are taken to a factory. A factory is a place where they make things. Okay? A factory is a building where things are made, such as bread, jam. Okay, what happens? The workers, they clean the grapes and they crush it. Crush it means to make them into small pieces. And what happens after that means the next step is the mush is cooked. After they break or crush all the grapes, it becomes something soft called mush. So what do they do to the mush? They have to cook it on the stove. Then finally or last, it is grape jam. And yummy means it's delicious. The last thing we'll be making today is orange juice. Orange juice is good for breakfast. It's nutritious. Okay, orange juice is good for breakfast too. Lots and lots of sun makes oranges big and ripe. They will taste good. Soon, the big ripe oranges will get pulled down. Okay, so orange juice, as we said, is good and nutritious thing to drink for breakfast. What does oranges need to grow and become ripe? It needs a lot of sun. That means oranges grow in places that have nice sunny and warm weather. Okay, when the oranges become big and ripe means the fruit or the vegetable is ready for us to eat it. The farmers come and pull them or collect them. What happens after that? The same thing. They are collected in big trucks and they are taken to a factory or a plant. Trucks take piles and piles of oranges to a plant. Then they get washed. Next, they get crushed. Big sacks get filled with juice. So, when the trucks collect many piles of oranges and they take it to a plant or the factory, what do? The workers, they wash all the oranges and then they are crushed. They are broken into small pieces and they are filled with, the big sacks or big bags are filled with orange juice. What happens after that? The food is shipped in trucks to shops. The food is prepared and packed in big trucks and they are sent to shops or supermarket. It is stacked up. That means they are placed in the supermarket for us to buy. Now it is for sale. People will buy it and bring it home. It will make a good breakfast. So after all the food that is made at the plant or at the factory, big trucks come to take them and take them to the supermarket or the shops. Why? So they can be placed in the supermarket or the shop so people like us can come and buy them. We pay money and we buy them and we eat it or we consume it for breakfast. It takes work to make food for breakfast. And here are the steps. This is a chart. This is a chart that shows us the 3 food that were made with the steps. Okay, so as we said, this story is a nonfiction. What's the meaning of nonfiction? Means it's real. The story is real. How do you know that the story is real? Because it tells you about real things. It's telling you how real food is being made. Okay, what else? There are pictures. There are real photos of workers and farmers preparing or making this food. What else? This is something called a text feature. In a nonfiction story, you'll find real photos and caption. What is a caption? A caption is a sentence that describes or tells about what the photo is doing, what is happening in the photo. What is another text feature? Here we have a chart. A chart is a text feature that gives you real information about the story. Okay, here is telling you how bread is made, how grape jam is made, and how grape juice is made. Okay, what about sequence? Okay, the sequence is the order of how something is made. Here it gives you an example of how bread is made. It says first, we have to use transition words. Transition words are words that show you when the step is happening. So the first thing that happens is dough is made. Next, the dough is shaped and baked. What happens after that? Then it is done. It's finished. It's cooked. The bread is put into bags. We can do the same thing if we want to talk about the grape jam and the orange juice. Okay? And that's all we have for today. So we talked about the genre, the sequence of the three food that is being made, and that's it. That was our story for today. See you guys in the next video.